Hello and welcome to the Regulars. I'm Stacey McGunnigle.
My name's Jason DeRoss.
And welcome and happy Friday, everyone. We did it.
Flying dirty.
Still forever and always. How are you, Jason?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm so great. What?
We're still like, this has got to be like almost 2 weeks now in for a lot of us into like trapped inside, which is great, but nuts.
Yeah, we're in full quarantine. I can't believe we've made it 2 weeks. 2 weeks of every weekday streaming as well. And I'm just so excited. So today, let's just jump into it. We are joined by our dearest of dears, our treasures of treasures. You know her on Instagram. If you don't, you will. We love her. She's a comedian, writer, friend to all of us, caregiver to some, me included. The love of Jason's life above his wife and child. And that is
She understands.
Jan Caruana, everybody. Two little sandwiches. Oh,
hi everybody.
Jan, I can't. You are an angel.
I'm here. I'm like,
You've almost got like
this is
a portrait of an angel behind you.
Gift.
I know she does have an angel behind her, and I'm here for it. So two little sandwiches. You're here for today's podcast. We're so excited to have you. Now, I did tell you, and the people watching, on Fridays we get fancy, and we bring a beverage of choice.
I'm prepared. I brought two.
Okay. So mine, and this is like drinks if you drink or do not drink, because you do not drink two little sandwiches.
No.
So I brought a mid-range, and by mid I mean I think $8. Pinot Grigio that's pink. They wouldn't call it a rosé, and I said that's enough for me. No, Jason, what are you drinking?
It's a soda water with a birthday cake vodka that has been in my freezer for about 2 years because it was like $3 at Trader Joe's.
That sounds. How does that taste?
It's actually delicious.
Is it vanilla-y?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vanilla birthday cake for sure. It's got that, but it's got like you can almost taste the sprinkles on top. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh.
The birthday cake flavor has really exploded in the past few years. It's in everything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have birthday cake flavored toothpaste.
I bet you they do. I can't. So, Jan, what did you bring for your beverage today for the podcast?
I have my fave of all faves, Coke Zero, in a tiny can.
Oh, that's
It's
cute.
so little.
It's cute.
It's portion control, so you don't drink too much of it in a day.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, Jen, you know how like in cartoons and stuff or movies, they always have like, not always, but those ones when it's like a devil pops up on one of your shoulders and an angel pops up on the other. Mm-hmm. It's like Jen just has two angels.
That's so funny. Well, cheers to everyone, and cheers to everyone watching, and happy Friday. And we did it. And isn't the world just a crazy, crazy place?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
When do we get to point out your sweatshirt?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So
I made my own merch.
Okay. So Jan, if you can, I don't know if you can stand up, but Jan last night literally made a tickle bitch t-shirt. She's a little pixelated on my end. Oh, there she is. She's clear on the thread, but a little tickle bitch shirt, and I am dying.
Oh yeah, killing it. Honestly, it was the best thing I did all day.
She sent me a photo, and I was like,
and then
oh my God. Go ahead.
Then I had to explain it to the people that I live with. And I had to like retell the story that I had to say, like, if you didn't listen to the podcast yesterday, and don't direct quote me, but I think Jason said that Stacey had the face of a person who had been fired a bunch of times. And then Stacey told the story about how she left a certain bookstore, and then this catchphrase was born.
Yeah, tickle bitch.
And I cried telling the story.
I can't wait to see what people said. I can't wait to see what people outside say, because you definitely have to wear that out and about at least one day.
Oh, I'm going to Sobeys in this, and let me tell you, people will stay 6 feet away from me, no problem, because I'll go out just like put a toque on, just like little bulldog, just buying chips.
And your toque says, "Hey you,
Hey you,
tickle tickle, bitch."
The manager starts freaking out, going, "She's here to steal. She's here to get fired and steal.
Give her what she wants.
Just give her a vest. It's for comedy. She's here for comedy." Well, I'm actually also really excited to have you on because not only are you fully and utterly a internet sensation now, Two Little Sandwiches has been featured worldwide on many publications.
Yes, several local news outlets have picked me up, which I'm greatly appreciative of.
Now Magazine, CBC, Narcity.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this newfound fame?
I'm just so completely thrilled. I can't believe it. It's like so nice because here come my two angels, Jay. Because everybody's like talking about when this first started, everybody was like, what am I going to do? I can't go to restaurants. So I just wanted to like post some videos and just like kind of like say, hey, don't worry. You can make easy things. You can still eat nice food. You don't just have to eat like, cereal. And then like people started picking up on that and really latching onto it. And it's so nice whenever somebody sends me a thing where it's like, I made a tuna casserole in a picture. I almost start crying. I'm very emotional these days.
Yeah. No,
but it's just so nice to see people kind of like coming together around that.
Well, I also think
go ahead,
Jay.
Do you know what I love about this too is like, and I've said this before on this podcast, I love pretending my life is chopped when it comes around to like meal times. So it's also great because I was following you and I was like, I don't have any flour. I'll never have flour in this house because we don't use it enough. But now I got to figure out how to make this tuna casserole and no problem.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you could find a non-flour roux to make. Easy.
Yeah. Or you just dump in a can of cream and mushroom soup and hello.
Cream and mushroom soup, baby. There you go.
It's not close to as good as what Jan made, but it works.
Well, I like that you have cream of mushroom soup, but no flour in the house.
Because I have no reason to ever have flour in the, I don't bake a lot. I like to cook, but I don't bake.
But I feel like,
and I know that you're a baking queen.
Well, I think that the reason people are overwhelmed by baking, and I certainly am one of them, is because like in cooking, there is like a way to solve something. Like if you over salt, if you over pepper, like there's ways to be like, oh, I can rectify this. And you can also like taste as you go. But I feel like baking is like, you put everything together, you put it in the oven, and like Jan says in her birthday cake video, you say a quick prayer to like little baby Jay, and you hope that something comes out of the oven nice. And half the time, it did not in the old McGunnigle household.
Yeah. But to that point too, it's also like the cooking process compared to a baking process is like you're there for quality control throughout, and you're constantly doing stuff. Whereas baking, I imagine, because I don't do it enough, you get all your stuff, you put it in the oven, you go, all right, we'll see what happens in 2 hours.
I think I
think if you're baking something for 2 hours, that's long.
I don't know. I don't bake.
I mean, I have baked cookies overnight. So I will take that back.
What do you mean you bake them overnight?
Well, there's I hope this isn't too boring, but there's a certain kind of cookie. It's a meringue cookie where you preheat the oven, you make the cookie, put it on the cookie sheet, and you put it in the oven, turn the oven off, and you go to bed. And because it cooks at such a low temperature and it dries out, it's magical.
Whoa.
And there's no flour in that cookie, Jay, so you can make that all you want.
I might.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done this on Two Little Sandwiches? Can I go find that?
I'll send it to you. I've put up a picture on Two Little Sandwiches, but I'll send you the recipe.
Wonderful.
I think I told this.
How that came out that way.
I think I've already told this story, but I remember I wanted to make something with almond flour because I just felt that meant there was no calories in it, and I decided to make like an almond flour lemon blueberry loaf, and I baked it for so long, and when it came, it smelled so good. And then it came out of the oven. It looked amazing on the top. Like I was like, you've done it. Like you're a mystical woman and you deserve everything that's amazing. And then I cut into it and it was liquefied in the middle. It had not baked at all. And it had been in for hours.
I would blame your stove.
Okay. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to release any blame on me and give it directly to my stove.
Yeah.
I have no qualms
And
doing that.
I think in baking, like there's a wider margin for error than you would think, because at the end of the day, even if it doesn't look perfect, even if the perfect texture isn't perfect, like you can dunk it in some milk. You can like smear some butter on it, dip it in peanut butter. Chances are it'll probably be good enough for consumption. But in that case, Stacey, I hope you just threw it out. I hope you didn't be like, I'll just make a pudding.
Well, no, I certainly ate the top.
Good for you.
Yeah, I will say. Now, I have gotten into, and I was talking about this with Baker yesterday. I love Allison Roman. Are you watching her videos? Do you love her?
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of cooking videos. Is that bad?
No, I think
all.
it's fine. I just yesterday, and we talked a couple days ago, I feel like the isolation has just hit me in an odd way, and I'm just feeling very coopinied. And yesterday, I just did not want to watch television. I was like, I don't want to watch anything. I'm over it. And so I did a real deep dive on her videos, and she was saying how you have to weigh your flour when it comes to baking. And I was like, I can't. I'm out. I can't. I can't and I shan't.
There's a lot of you have to weigh your flour, you have to weigh your ingredients, you have to spoon your flour into your measuring cup and level it off. That's great to be very precise and stuff, but who got the time?
But where's the fun?
Where's the fun?
Exactly.
It's about just caution to the wind, baby.
Sometimes you just got to live a little dangerously.
Whoa.
Yeah, throw in some vanilla extract, even though it doesn't call for it.
That's classic Duras cooking.
Scoop and dump.
Well, I do want to promote, if people are just joining the old chat, this is Two Little Sandwiches. You need to follow her. The picture that I've attached to her Instagram, she already has more followers already. She's been featured on CBC, Narcity, and Now Magazine. And she has amazing videos up. So you have your Mamafuko birthday cake, fried chicken, tuna casserole, shepherd's pie. So there's
that one's new.
That one's new, and it was really good. I have a big bunch of beef, and I'm going to be throwing that in there.
Oh, yeah. Delicious.
Yeah. So here's a little thing that I didn't prep either of you for, but I thought it might be fun. So it is our friend Craig Brown's birthday.
Oh, nice.
And what I thought, because he doesn't like video chatting in any capacity, I thought we could call him and he would be on a podcast, and that might make him a little upset, which might be a little birthday gift for all of us. Yeah, no, I know. But I thought maybe we could try calling him and we could just wish him a happy birthday. What do you think?
I think this is amazing and truly dangerous, because if it goes straight to voicemail, you know that he declined the call.
I know exactly.
It's a real tightrope walk on this one, Stacey.
I personally think it's either a win-win. If it's a full disaster, it's classic Craig. And if it's a really beautiful moment, that's Craig. That's a new Craig. So
also for our listeners, watch how when you're listening to this, watch what his tactics are to get off the phone as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Craig is an incredible comedian and writer, and he might be the most particular man we've all met. And I look forward to this crumbling before us, but it might be nice. Okay, here we go. It's going to start ringing. Okay, let's see. Oh my God.
I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous too. Tell me if you can hear.
I'm drinking birthday cake vodka for him.
It's ringing. Oh my God. Oh geez. Here we go.
If it's only 2 rings, that's a decline.
Okay, it's not a decline. Wait, hold on. 3 rings.
He's in the shower.
If he doesn't answer, we get to insult him on this podcast. For his birthday.
If he answered, please do the same thing.
Hi, this is Craig Brown.
I cannot believe on his own birthday he's not making himself available to our content. It's insulting. But anyways...
He could be in the restroom or something.
The restroom.
Oh.
I have to worry what I say down here.
America.
I can't remember if I say bathroom or washroom all the time, but one of them I say down here, everyone goes, "What?"
Well,
you don't do that on the.
My favorite story about Craig, and this is, I'm really glad that you brought up the bathroom, Jay, because every time we would go for lunch or dinner or something, and I would go to the bathroom, when I would be approaching the table, he'd go, "How'd that dump go? How's that big shit you took downstairs?" So. And you know what? Sometimes he was right.
Did you get it out? Okay.
Craig is also one of the, I know a lot of funny people, present company included, but
Thank you.
He's one of the funniest people I know, insofar as he doesn't have to do very much to just make me crack up.
Well, we all worked with him at Second City, and there were times where we were filling in his eyebrows, and it's some of the happiest days of my life.
Also, like the joy that Craig could bring to just like wearing a wig backwards. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
Oh,
some of the best moments.
I'm sorry. He did just send me a photo. He is in line at a grocery store trying to buy food at this particular moment.
Happy birthday.
Oh, God. I'll just say we were trying to call you
Are
for
they
the
putting
pod.
like we went to Trader Joe's yesterday, and they've got like tape that's 6 feet long, so you have to stand in between the tape. Are they doing
It's
that up there?
wild.
So the lineups are like,
Oh, I don't have that.
There has
Yeah,
been
that's-
apparently lines near the grocery store near me. There's been lines. I haven't met any of them. And like, there's a lot of little like veggie markets around me. So I'm really lucky. So I can just kind of pop in and out. Yeah.
I see.
Okay. This is what
At
I'm
the
loving.
Loblaws near me, we had to wash our hands.
Oh, really? To get in?
Yeah. Yeah.
When when it first started happening, the Trader Joe's by our house did like when you walk in, they would wipe down the cart, or they would give you a thing to wipe down the cart, and they would also spray your hands with things. They were all standing there with sanitizer and gloves. They had like the line separated, but then as you leave, they gave you a rose.
Oh, that's
They're like,
nice.
thanks for coming in.
I will tell you this. I have been feeling
Corona.
down in the dumps, but I've been forcing myself, and this seems very extraneous, so this is not something that people have to do, but I've just been buying flowers for my house, and it really has changed my mood. Just a nice little something that I have to like wake up in the morning and go water and take care of, and it's just pretty and it smells nice. That's what I
That's
like.
amazing. But I'm
think
also
that's
like,
a great
I
idea.
worry about anything that enters my house at this point. At the same time, I'm also like, oh God, what is on this now?
Are you guys washing your groceries?
No, but we're supposed
No.
to be.
I'm not doing it. I keep
Are we?
forgetting. Are you doing it?
No, but I had a minor attack of panic yesterday where I was like, should we be doing this?
Oh, the video that went around?
Am I making my family sick?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this last night, but so, and this is going to sound gross. This is my walk. Great. But after 9/11, it was like,
Oh,
some
no.
things in this world,
Oh, no.
some things in this world change that just don't go back, but they're little things. And it's like, oh, we just do that for life now. Like things like you take your shoes off when you go to the airport, which didn't exist before 2001.
Right.
So I'm just curious about what are the things, because now like this happens and we all cringe when there's like a kissing scene on a television now, because you're like, oh God, like before I would cringe anyways because I was like, oh, what is this? But now it's like, what happens after this that is going to be little things, because there's Corona, it's going to go away, but now we all are going to be in that mindset of like, we'll all have lived through a pandemic. So
Yes.
now is that going to be in our mindset for the rest of our lives?
Like,
Because
do we not
I think
shake
about my
hands
4-year-old
anymore?
son, and I'm like, this is his like his formative years, and he's like, this is what he knows. He's like, yeah, I can't go out. It's sick time.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope not. I mean, unlike Jay, when I see kissing on TV, I go, ooh, yummy, yummy, mommy wants some more. That sounded disgusting.
I don't know. The kissing I've seen all this year was Peter Weber, and no thanks.
From The Bachelor. I
Is he
actually,
the Bachelor?
yeah, I think he was a good kisser. I have to disagree, Jay. I think he was a good kisser. He just did too much of it.
He could be a good kisser, but like like the worst serial killer could be a good kisser. You still don't want to see it happen. And I equate Peter Weber to the worst serial killer. So
Jason. Oh my God.
How do you know a person is a good kisser if you just see them kiss on TV?
it's the movement of the lips.
The movement
how
of the
much
lips,
pressure.
the pressure, passion. Like
He's got half Cuban passion going on there. It's fire.
I can tell you in my mind who I think is some of the best kissers on TV. I've clocked it.
Great. What's your top 3?
Okay, so we're gonna do Paul Rudd. Okay,
Oh,
I wonder if people agree with me in the chat or they just think I'm a boned up cougar over here, but Paul Rudd in Clueless was like one of the first like tongue kisses I had seen on TV. And I was like, now watching it back, it's a little much. We could pump the brakes, but if you're a boned up teen, like you're happy for the surprise. Who else is a really good kisser? Who's bad? Chris Pratt. And that was a tough realization.
Pill to swallow.
He's a bit of he's off the rhythm. He's like kind of like that, which was hard. Bill Hader, I think, is a really good kisser. See, Audrey in the chat agrees. Paul Rudd, totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is a babe. He was a babe in Clueless. He is a
Totally.
babe now. I want to see him be a babe at 75.
He will be.
Like, ugh.
Audrey in the chat says he hasn't aged since Clueless.
Agreed.
No, he looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Now-
there's a painting of Paul Rudd in his attic that's just becoming decrepit. He just becomes more and more delicious.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys watch Hot Ones, which is where celebrities come on and eat hot wings. Did you think?
Oh,
Yeah, I have watched that. I didn't know that was called.
Paul Rudd, his is like the best. Like he doesn't even drink milk throughout it. I think his tongue is just like, we're cool, baby.
That's why he's such a good kisser.
Totally. And like, I think he's married. So like, that's going to be tough for me to, that's like my Everest, there's no top because the top is owned by his wife. But, yeah, I think he's a really good kisser. And Bill Hader, which Ruth is giving me some love on Bill Hader.
It's weird because the show Hot Ones, I didn't even know the name of it, but that's what like a show I aspire to be on. I would love to go on that show.
Can we get Jason on Hot Ones?
Give me on Hot Ones. I'll tap out in the first one, but like I'd love the experience.
We can't try and sell you, and then you instantly go, I'm gonna tap
I'm
out on
totally
the
kidding.
first one.
I love hot food. I one of the things I do make is pepper sauce and I make my own hot sauce. I love hot sauce. So like I'm lying. I would hopefully make it through the entire thing, but I know like by the end when they just use like ghost pepper seeds and are like, we're gonna kill you, and I'm like, well, great, let's do it.
I think you'd be great on that show. And I think like your natural sense of bravado would carry you very far.
Agreed.
Do I have a natural sense of bravado?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, up the butt, you have it.
totally. I realize all of Jason's friendships are just us going, you're talented, idiot.
I thought bravado meant like confidence, which is something that is the opposite of
You
that.
do have a comedy confidence.
I think if I said to you, Jason, taste this tablespoonful of hot sauce, you'd be like, okay.
No problem.
You're brave. Like you're like
brave.
A little bit fearless about some things. And I think that translates into like bravado insofar as
that's really
eating.
nice. See how like Jen has already made my week.
I was agreeing with her.
Jen, thank you.
You guys cut each other no slack. None. Zero. And it's what makes you so charming, but it also makes it so uncomfortable.
Stacey compliment still cuts like a knife,
I think part of it is the tone. It's like, Jason, come on, you're handsome. Like, stop being an idiot. Like, it's always like a spoonful of sugar.
Thing. It does follow with, stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah. And then you get the balls.
You're fine. I said you're fine.
Yeah, Jan, you're fucking beautiful, you freaking idiot, if you don't even think that. Just jump into a fiery pool, you angelic, wonderful Wonder Woman who's saved my life in a multitude of ways. It's fucking ridiculous I even have to tell you that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
You just have to know how to read her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a long walk. Oh, can I tell you something that's unrelated? Have you been watching Tiger King, Jan?
I've seen the first episode and I am enthralled.
It's the best. Now, I will tell you, I was on this podcast with this lovely lady named Kate Casey, and she has an episode out today with a guy who did a podcast expose on the Tiger King for Wondery. And it was, so I won't say anything because I wanted to see if you were done, but it is an incredible interview, and now I'm going to listen to this podcast, which really deep dives, and it's crazy.
What's the name of the person's podcast? Because I also want to hear that as well.
I'll send it to you. I'll put it up on our regular girls or our regulars Instagram, so everyone can see it too. The Kate Casey interview, but like now that I've watched it, I'm ready for a deep dive. Like it's crazy.
You guys, I mean, this is an old one, but you listened to Serial when it the first season when that came about, right?
Oh yeah.
There was a podcast that came out that kind of went through in detailed episode by episode what's
cool.
factual stuff about the case and stuff like that. And that was so interesting to be like, oh yeah, he's guilty. Like they can paint it however they want, but he was guilty the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing about Tiger King is it's just like an incredibly insane story, but it's also tragically sad on a multitude of levels. But we won't say anything because Jane's only done one episode, so we'll come back.
What I will say it's just about the characters. It's just a
wait.
character piece
Yeah.
all over the place.
You couldn't draw those characters.
Yeah,
Like
it's the
people would be
best.
like, this is too much.
Yeah.
So Jameson has just said, I'm enthralled by everyone, including the guests. Their drinking receptacles, it's unexplainable. So I'm wondering if he's talking about what we're all drinking out of. If we could just hold them all up.
Cheers. My ice is gone.
Jan, that's the cutest little mason jar jug I've ever seen.
And you want to know, like, disappointment
I-
set in. We've had Snake King following us in this entire thing. Snake King just started Tiger King last night. Snake King, I feel like because of your name, you should have started that a lot earlier.
Yeah. Does everyone want to give a quick backstory on their drinks? So this is I live by myself and I only have one wine glass. And it's from the dollar store. And you can tell when I bought
What's
it.
on it?
Christmas
What's
trees.
what's the pattern on it?
Christmas trees.
It's a Christmas tree. And to tell you the truth, I think she's drank out of that every day this week. It's the glass.
But don't you guys do that? Like I have this. So this is a like this is filled with water, and I drink water from this every day.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys do that, or am I gross?
No, I have my favorite mug. I have my favorite, I have my favorite big mug where I'm like chugging a smoothie or a big old thing of water. I got my favorite coffee mug where like I just walk around and I like water my plants like I'm a real like fancy lady. And I got my, I used to have a favorite plate.
Especially when you get in those times when you're like, you're like, it's diet times and you're like, drink whatever, 8 ounces of water a day. I just have that big one that I'm always walking around being like, got to finish this by noon.
Totally.
And then fill it up again.
People used to laugh at me at work because I used to have like this, it was literally like a very small like jug, and they would laugh at me and I'm like, look, I drink this, I'm good all day.
It's done by 9 a.m. I'm a camel.
I don't have to do anything else all day, you guys. Mission accomplished.
That's the thing. I think I'm a little bit of a camel. I do get concerned because I rarely have to pee. So then half the day I'm like, what have I been denying myself?
I think you've passed it on to me somehow because I'll pee every 3 minutes. No problem.
Oh, I was like, my problem?
No, not at all.
Amanda in the chat says, I also have one wine glass, which is holly on it. I got at the dollar store. So me and Amanda are truly the same.
Twinsies.
Yeah. Twinsies. Jason, do we want to get into dumb stories? And Jason has reignited a little bit we had from this dumb thing, which was Ding, That's My Stop. So Jason.
Oh, I'm aware.
Oh yeah. Well, you were one of the first huge fans of TDT. And so I thought it was only necessary that we play a little Ding, That's My Stop. Jay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
I love
great.
it. So I'll read the headline and then you guys can let me know if you want to stop here. And two of these today are Canadian, so get ready.
Ooh,
Canadian businessman says he burned $1 million in cash just to avoid paying his ex-wife child support. Which I was like,
he burned it.
All right, we're gonna drive past. Okay.
I feel like I've heard this story before, and I feel there's a little bit of BS in this.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: because we're living in those Corona times, I've had to dig a bit. So this story is from February. So
it's from. I'm sorry. It's from when?
February. I started saying that recently.
That's fine.
Thank
Jason,
you.
You did a great job on that one.
February. I used to say February like everybody else, but then I'm like, why is that R sitting after the B? I got to pronounce it.
No, I get that.
Why
but
is it there?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to do like a minor ding. That's my stop.
Okay.
And then just go like, oh, I didn't mean to get off here to the driver, but like,
sure.
I think that he made him pay anyway or something. The judge made him pay. Like the judge.
Oh yeah,
went,
the
like,
judge. You are 100% right. The judge did be like, you're nuts, dude, and you're definitely paying, which they should. Like,
yeah.
He's a terrible dude. Like, if you can burn $1 million for not paying child support, that's your child. So
Jason's getting all emotional. Okay.
I can't like. What if that kid wants to go to school? Do you know how expensive college is?
I worry about stuff sometimes because it's like we talk about things like we do comedy. So like every once in a while, it's like, do you bring up a subject that is sensitive? And then you're like, oh, cool. I got to figure out how to balance this. And I used to like play whatever. You could do whatever, but like now that I have a child, my life has changed. So I can't make fun of children anymore. So I wonder like
you can't make fun of children anymore?
I can't make fun of like, I can't watch a TV show and they're like, oh no, it's a child. And I'm like, oh no, I turn it off. Like try to put Law and Order in front of me. Nah, no, thank you. Like none of that stuff anymore.
I recommended I Think You Should Leave to a coworker.
Oh, I love.
You guys know that?
Yes.
So good. But I recommended it to her, and the first sketch I guess she watched was the Baby of the Year, the Bart Harley Jarvis.
Oh, I love that.
For people who don't know it, it's basically like there's this baby competition, but they really shit on this one baby. And then the next day she showed up. I'm like, did you watch it? She's like, I couldn't get through that first sketch because they were just making fun of that poor baby so bad.
The baby doesn't know.
I loved it.
But she's like, I have a child. I'm a mother.
Oh, give me a break.
I should have brought this up yesterday because when it hit me the first time, we had just had Charlie. I didn't have Charlie. I get it.
Okay.
We just had Charlie, and I had to go to Vancouver for a gig with Rob Baker, who we had on yesterday. And then we were flying back on the plane, and we were like, how do you watch a movie sitting beside each other and not spoil anything? So we tried to set up a movie just at the right time together. So we did it so it was playing at the exact same time on two seats.
It's a long ass walk, Jay.
Yep, because it's just for this. It was for the movie Arrival, and if you don't know Arrival, like immediately they're like, "Oh, your child's gonna die." And I had just had Charlie, and he has a son as well that he was missing because he was in Vancouver, and both of us at the same time went stop, and we didn't watch the movie. I couldn't.
That's very sweet.
It's very sweet. It's also like, you know.
It's like burning $1 million just to stay away from responsibility.
I don't have a child, so I can't speak to it. But I just think when people are like, we mustn't joke about the children. And then those kids turn 18 and they're like, fuck you, dad, friggin' loser. And you're going to be like, oh, I wish I had made fun of you.
Yeah. And then you write Roseanne for a living. Yeah.
Okay. What's the next one?
I will say this is just to reaffirm, to kind of back up what Jan's saying. This is what the judge said to the guy. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. I don't think you're honest. I find what you have done morally reprehensible because
put that on the shirt, Jan.
Willfully and directly undermines the interests of your children. So he was just like, nope, fuck you, and fuck you. So,
okay.
Right. Next stop, we're pulling up to this station right here.
Okay.
Villagers in India dress up as bears to scare off more than 2,000 monkeys.
Oh no, we lost Jan. We can't hear her.
What?
Oh no, we've lost Jan.
That is true.
Something happened, but you can refresh Jan. Yeah. She's going to refresh.
She'll be back.
Oh.
She'll be back.
And now you're huge. I have to fix you. We've lost Jason.
You lost me too?
No, you just look so big. Just because I was like fixing everything.
Oh, I see in the chat you're just seeing my headphone.
Yeah, totally.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Everyone can see me.
I just noticed in the chat though too, like so February, it's like, yeah, we have to change the spelling of February.
Oh, we have to, eh?
Yeah.
They're saying we have to?
Well, they've written it in a bunch of different ways. February. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so I'm so sad that we lost Jan, but she'll come back. I can see me trying to mess with the stream. What? Oh, she's back, our girl. Jan?
Can we hear?
I'm here, but I think my microphone is wonky.
Oh, is your mic getting wonky?
Can you hear?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you for sure. No, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. You're back.
I want to talk about the people dressing as bears. Did you guys talk about this already?
No, we talked about February while you were gone and how it's spelled. The people in the chat are trying to figure out how we should spell February now.
February.
Yeah.
So the people in this village, because the monkeys were like throwing bricks at children and stuff. I'm surprised you made it through this whole story, Jay.
I didn't.
Is that correct?
I didn't make it through the whole story.
Okay,
Now I
tell
think
the
I might have to drive past this stop.
why.
They were throwing bricks at children, Stacey.
Oh,
They were throwing bricks at children and villagers, and there was no way to get them to stop. So people go on bear patrol now.
really?
But they got these costumes.
Yeah,
Right?
they're like, we have to take turns. So it's almost like living through a pandemic because they're like, well, the world's new now. We've got to take turns wearing bear costumes and walking around the village scaring away monkeys. What I'm blown away by is like Jan Caruana has the knowledge of all my dumb news. She already knows. It's so amazing.
Well, she's so smart.
Yeah.
I have to do a deep dive on the news every week. So I do enjoy these stories.
Are you still on Because News? Is that still happening?
Yeah, so I write for a show on CBC Radio called Because News, and I'm occasionally a panelist. And it's a news program, and I work with probably the smartest people in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And Gavin Crawford, who's probably the funniest person in the country, hosts it. So they're always like, what should we do about Trump this week? Or what should we do about, the Conservative Party is electing a new leader. And I'm like, hey, you guys hear this story about a bunch of monkeys invading a town and people got to dress as bears? That's what I bring to the table.
Hey, I love it.
How do you think that would change a relationship? Or if it's like you're with your lover, for me, let's say, Paul Rudd, Bill Hader, whatever. I'm not, whatever. And I'm like, hun, can you get the bear suit on? The monkeys are in the backyard. Just do it. Do you think it would change things?
Well, I think the question is, because they go out in pairs, do you patrol with your loved one or do you patrol solo, like with a stranger? And then what if you fall in love with your patrol partner?
Oh my God. See, that's a story, Jan.
That's a movie.
Is CBC listening? Because we got a pitch. It's called
what
My
I would
Bear
love
and Me.
Is like, you ever like get in a dumb fight with your partner, but then like you have to leave the house still mad? Like, what if it was like, guys, it's your turn for the bear, and you're in the middle of like a regular house squad. You're just walking down, thinking, just don't leave the dishes in the sink.
Then the monkeys don't want to be around you for a completely different reason. They're all like, no thanks.
Do you ever get mad with your partner and then you realize it's your fault halfway through the argument, but then just to keep pride, you keep fighting knowing that you're completely wrong?
I think this says so. Now I understand Stacey McGunnigle to a T. This is great.
What do you mean?
You just said you realize you're wrong, but you don't admit it. You dig in harder.
I always admit when I'm wrong days later.
Yeah.
No, before I really got my anger under control, I did a lot of I would be forcefully speaking and then I would get a retort and I'd be like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
Oh, you would have been the worst person to fight with.
But if I was on your side, I'm a great asset.
I'm not yelling. I'm only yelling because you're yelling.
You're making me yell. Okay, you're being ridiculous. Yeah.
That's one of the worst tactics, though, in an argument. I'm not yelling. I'm being very reasonable, and I just want to know why you're such a fuck up. That's all.
My biggest pet peeve when people are fighting are like, well, that's how I feel. And it's like, yeah, but that's why we're having this argument, because what you feel is wrong. So, well, that's how I feel.
There was a part early in my relationship with my boyfriend, Sheldon, when we first moved in together. He's quite a bit taller than me, and he would always put stuff on high shelves, but he would put them precariously up there. And for probably about 3 months, things were just constantly falling on my head.
Oh, really?
And one day, I'm not even kidding, the vacuum cleaner fell on me.
Oh my God.
And I took it. He was in our bedroom. I took it and I was like, I don't want to be this person, but barely controlling my rage. But I'm like, but things keep falling on me and I will not have it.
And both the angels on either of your shoulders are like this.
They're like,
just shrugging. Yeah, don't fuck.
We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do here. We have to be, we've got to suck it up a little bit.
Just shaking with rage. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
poor Sheldon.
I'm
not fun to live with.
I like to call that
sweet man.
I like to call that the 6-month dump, where you're holding stuff for a long time and you're like, you know what? You can take that cereal bowl and shove it so far up your ass that you become a different person.
For me, I call it the 14-year dump. So it's coming.
So your wife's got something to look forward to in a couple of years.
Oh, great.
In a few years, yeah.
Yeah, super.
No, I really do love Sheldon so much, and I think that you're divine to live with. I can't imagine that you're difficult.
Try it.
No.
Yeah, it's like every day. It's like, well, here's some brownies. I guess you have to eat.
Or hey,
okay.
you said this thing and that was really important to you, and I remembered it days later. Here you go.
I mean, we could bring up when I came home and like you just had a party for me and showered me with all of my favorite things throughout the party, which is
it was just pizza from
an
North
angel.
York.
But that's because you're such a special person, Jay.
Aw.
See, I can't. This is too nice. I got to drink some birthday
I don't
cake.
know.
I don't want to bring it up, but no one's really tossing me any compliments over here.
Oh, Stacey. Oh my God.
No.
Stacey, how could I forget to tell you this? I still have your coffee mug from when you left it in my car.
Oh,
that
perfect. I hope the coffee's still in there. It'll still be hot.
Beautiful compliment.
Compliment.
I can't say words when I get on this mic. I'm gonna slit my own throat. Oh my God.
Jason, stop saying that.
What?
day. No.
No. Do you have another dumb story?
Oh yeah, we're done with the bears. Although I went through the article, it didn't mention this article about the children. Maybe that's why I got through it. But
I might have added the children by accident.
Well, I think a town has children, so there were some baby cubs walking around with their parents.
here's the second one, and I'm going to say we're short turning here. By that I mean the driver's going to force a ding. This is my stop because I want to talk about this.
Okay.
A Canadian teen calls the cops after their fake ID doesn't arrive and prompts the police to warn on identity theft scams. The first half of that sentence is the most important part. A teen in Canada, in Ontario, because he called the OPP, was like, these guys are ripping me off, I think. I ordered an ID online and it ain't coming. I gave them my social insurance number. I gave them my address. I gave them my phone number. I gave him my credit card number.
My thing is, why can't this kid just get free booze? Like, I feel like that's readily available at any point.
It could be a lot of things. In the article, it says the OPP guy says a lot of kids do this. Some do it so they can drive. So this is like 13-year-olds trying to get fake IDs so they can just drive a car.
Let me tell you, no thanks. I've never wanted to drive a car. I wanted to be driven, which is why I love Uber so much. I don't want to drive.
What I learned from Tractor Day is kids are dying to get behind a wheel. They want to drive.
My cousin, who's like 60 years old now, but when he was 13, he used to he used to put on his dad's leather jacket. This was like in the late 60s, early 70s, and these big sunglasses, and he used to drive the car around the block, thinking nobody would know it was him because he was wearing his dad's sunglasses and leather jacket. Meanwhile, he's like driving, he can barely see over the wheel.
This is like two kids in a trench coat driving around.
But only half as smart because he was only one kid.
Oh my God. I love that so much. I love
my cousin Steve.
I love the mentality of like the rationale of a child. Like when I was little, if I thought there was like a robber or a murderer in the house, I would lay down as if I had already been murdered, thinking they would like open the sheet and go, "Oh, I forgot we already murdered this kid."
Oh man, another murderer already hit this house.
There's no blood or anything, but she's dead. I bet it was Brian. Brian's always coming in, murdering the kids before I can. Like I was just like, but a kid going, big glasses, big jacket. Okay. Let's get behind the wheel.
No problem.
The thought that like as children you're told like with a bear, play dead. It's like Stacey took that and was like, if someone breaks into your house, play dead, and that human will think you just got killed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Just in any perilous situation, if you think you're going to get hit by a car, just lie down in the street and play dead.
Yeah,
they'll swerve to go around you.
They will swerve. They have to.
Just give me more meat on my cold cut. No. Oh, she's dead. Put some more meat on there for her.
Oh my God. I love how like it always involves sandwiches with me.
Salad. Cold cut trio.
Yeah.
Now, Stacey, sorry, we're not talking. I'll bypass that. So this kid,
Oh
did he get in trouble?
Yeah. What happened?
He didn't get in trouble. It turned into like the article's mostly warning kids because they're like, he's like, basically like, guys, stop giving out like your SIN number, your
Oh, you froze a little bit, Jay.
security number. Credit card. I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll come back though. We can still hear you.
Oh, okay, great. But that's the article's more about like, hey man, we got to worry about kids like passing on a bunch of information. Yeah, so that's it.
All right. Do you have another one?
Yep.
Yeah.
California homes evacuated after hundreds of military explosives were found in a residence where a 70-year-old man died. So what happened was a 70-year-old man dies of natural causes. They go into his house and they're like, there's enough explosives in here to blow up California. What is happening?
I love how
I'll teach those kids to stay off my lawn.
But what was he doing? Like this is
what happens when you're left to your own devices to putter. You're like, oh, here's a grenade. Oh, go pick up.
Or maybe he just likes sales. He's like, whoa, this is a good price for explosives.
I love how
better get them now.
I love how when Jason approaches these dumb stories, he just puts himself in the situation. He's like, this man wasn't trying to harm anyone. He just loved a sale. He loved a good deal, which is why he bought all those explosives. I love a sale.
And if there was sales on explosives and I was like, did you see this? 3 for 1?
Jenny.
Babe, we got to get these grenades.
I know.
What's 3 for 15? 3 for 15.
Pick them up. Bring them over here. I want to. Don't let them run away. Charlie, come here.
You want some Doritos, pal? Okay, pick up that grenade. Don't touch the pin. Come over here.
What do you mean I'm never going to use all these explosives? I could tell you 6 reasons I would use explosives right now.
I just want to warn you, it's been almost 14 years, so we need them. Okay? Come on. Okay, I don't want to ding here. What's the next one?
Well, this is a fun one. A man he sent his chihuahua with a note attached and a $20 bill to the store to get himself some Cheetos, the orange ones, not the red ones, because the red ones are too spicy.
Ding ding.
And it succeeded. The dog came back with an orange bag of Cheetos for the man.
Ding ding. This is my stop.
I have to say, I have also read this story. I saw the headline and then I scanned it for the name Stacey McGunnigle. I was like, this is something Stacey would for sure do.
Burger go. Burger go.
Burger.
Burger, you know
Don't come back.
Except Burger would not come back with those Cheetos.
No, he'd come back for
Vic might.
Vic would come back with a small bag of snack-sized chips and a sensible arugula salad and go, we need to refine what's going on in this house.
I feel like if you sent them both together, they would come back and the Cheetos would have a bit of like maybe spray paint down the side of it. You'd be like, what happened here? And then cut to like a Ferris Bueller montage of like what Vic and Burger did together while they tried to get those chips.
I feel like Vic would come back with lemongrass and go, let's just start exploring in our cooking, just like some fun herbs and Burger would come back with PBRs, Fireball.
And some woman in a tube top.
Yeah. This is
Monica.
Monica.
His girlfriend. This is Chandra.
Yeah. Chandra's sleeping over tonight. Be cool about it. Yeah, in your bed.
She makes her own vape juice. She's going to make it here. We're experimenting with flavors.
Vic, get that lemongrass. Bring me that lemongrass.
Burger for sure is a vape juice connoisseur. Oh my god.
Oh, this is great how many that Jen has seen of these stories. This was in Mexico where it happened, but this is how we're living with coronavirus now.
There's just such a dearth of news that you're just like, well, is this something?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Sorry.
But the dog came back with them. That was the amazing part.
Yeah, so how did the Chihuahua know where to go? Like, how do you train your dog?
Oh, well, the story, it's the note says, "Hello, Mr. Shopkeeper. Please sell my dog some Cheetos. The orange kind, not the red ones, are too hot. She has a $20 attached to her collar. Warning: she will bite if not treated right. Your front neighbor." So, like, essentially lives beside the shop. That's how.
Oh, cute. Oh, well, I mean, it must have been a small bag of Cheetos if it's a little Chihuahua. She's not getting
There's a picture of it. There is definitely
Really?
a photo of it. Oh, yeah. There's a dog walking with the Cheetos in his mouth.
Oh, you'll have to send me that photo for our Instagram.
It's a Jason DeRoss special. It is already it's already pixelated as could possibly be.
Here's something I'd like to talk about, and maybe Jan.
Oh, no.
What? No.
I just feel like this is going to be an attack. Okay.
Why are you acting like this?
I'm not acting like Okay. Let's go.
No.
What is this?
I just thought that because, Two Little Sandwiches is so advanced in like now being featured everywhere in the social medias that maybe she could help you with some Instagram tips so that everything you post will no longer be so pixelated. It's shocking that you press post.
And then you asked me, why am I worried about this? Because I knew exactly what you were going to say. Yeah. Like, my posts are fine. Although yesterday, I'm not going to get into it because that's just only shitting to myself. Like,
So, Jan, you've seen his posts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're fine.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
listen, if I was just generally going to give some tips to people, to listeners.
Yeah, let's just
not
give it to
Jason.
listeners.
Natural light is your best friend.
Yes.
Just try and take a photo in good light.
Mm-hmm.
After that, everything else is kind of a crapshoot. Like filters can be your friend, but they can also be your enemy. So don't go nuts on filters.
Totally.
But listen, I am the person that literally just learned after like crying to Stacey how to like change the dimensions on my Instagram stories. So I'm no one to give advice.
Now, Jason, I will ask, like right now where you're recording, is there a window that we could open?
It's open.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're working with natural light. Now,
but this isn't terrible. This is quite good.
It's nice. I just when he posts things, even when I directly send them to him, they're always so pixelated, and mine are not. And we're all doing the same thing.
It happened once. It happened once.
All right, guys, time to put on the bear head.
Jason and I in bear suits going, I just don't know when you get on Instagram what the hell you're doing. Rah! 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 I just think it's like you're not really it's just you're not focusing, and that's the problem. Jason, do you have any last stories?
Sure. Jen, tell me if you've seen this one.
Oh boy, a lot of pressure.
But I mean, like, you're already like 5 for 5, so unbelievable. It's a hairdresser, because now that we're in Corona, it's like, we've already talked about this, like how we're going to get our hair cut. You can go and you can look at people that have tried to cut their own hair. You can find pictures of them online. And
I did it.
It looks great.
Yeah, well,
look how long your hair is, by the way.
Yeah. In this one, there is a hairdresser that is open, and this hairdresser cut holes for their arms in an umbrella and 2 eye holes in the umbrella, and it goes behind an umbrella with gloves on and cuts your hair. And there's like video of it. There's people going to this hairdresser who's literally hiding behind an umbrella.
Here's my question. This is my stop. Who in these times right now needs a haircut? We're all home.
Me.
No, I know, but like you're home. Like, do you need to go to the salon? Can you just get like some buzzers and just do a little buzz?
Oh no, I get that. And to be honest, as you can see by like my face, it's like, also, who cares? I'm gonna walk out of this like I've been living in a cave the whole time. So
just rubbing our eyes.
Just
I gotta say, I'm a little bit more, because I did cut my hair the other day and it was substantial. It was like this much.
Oh whoa.
But I literally just put my hair in a ponytail and went crazy. But I'm more concerned about like what starts happening in this area to me.
Your
or
mustache?
this area. Yeah, like I feel like I'm just gonna start to get like these huge like Ed Asner eyebrows, and that's gonna be it.
Well, here's a couple of things. You can shave your face like I do. And no, the hair does not come back thicker. I'll send you videos. People don't believe. Also, bushy eyebrows are the thing. It's just about plucking right in here, and then you take a little spoolie brush and get them up. That's what we want.
But kid, let me tell you, they're long. Like they start to get in my eyes. Yeah, I'm like the opposite of our dear friend Craig Brown.
Then you just can do like a little trim, but don't trim them so they're like flush. Do you know what I mean? Don't trim them like when people take their eyebrow hair and snip it like that. We got problems.
I'm gonna get on Zoom with you one of these days, and you're gonna walk me through it.
I would happily do that, and it's honestly one of my most favorite things to do is talk about skin and hair care. Truly, everyone, stop trimming your eyebrows flush to your face. It looks fucking crazy. What?
So, Jason, are these haircuts good? Like, did they show pictures of the haircuts? I did not know this story.
They showed video of it, and in the video, it's a video that kind of went a little viral on because everybody was kind of sharing this around. But in the video, you can hear the person go, "This is the only quote they've got. This is not going well."
Well, no surprise there.
I'd be afraid for my safety because, like, if you're imagining that, like, somebody's getting nicked.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a time just to see, like, just grow your hair long. And then when it's done, it's like, how much are you going to appreciate that short bob? You're not going to freak out, right? You've always wanted bangs. Well, now we're in quarantine, so you can think about the bangs. So when you get bangs, you're going to love them. You know what I mean? This is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone just said in the chat, Jason secretly uses a Nokia flip phone for Instagram pics.
This is great. Go to my Instagram. There's zero wrong with my Instagram.
That was the hugest dunk I've ever heard.
That was a massive dunk.
Such a dunk for no reason.
And we
like
love
The Wire. I just liked watching The Wire so much, so I keep a flip phone.
I have like a drawer full of flip phones in case I ever need one for like a show or someone needs them for a prop.
A tickle trunk.
They just had like a big bag of flip phones. It was like, I'll take them.
I saw a guy on one for real the other day. I was like, pretty cool.
The person who runs the trivia night. Okay, this is the funniest sentence I've ever said. The old man who runs the trivia night at my condo, which I have been to and enjoyed, has a flip phone and times the answer rounds on the flip phone, and it's adorable.
Now, Jan, you almost got kicked out of that trivia night because you were winning and you were too much. You were too rowdy for the condo trivia night. No,
we were being rowdy. It's not because we were winning. It's because I was there with Sheldon and our good friends Marty and Sherry, and
this is why you got kicked out. Marty Adams is for sure why you got kicked out.
And so the question was, in that it was one of those songs. Anyway, and it was one of those questions where it was like what's the third line of this song essentially? And we all went like, and we all wrote it down. And then this woman turns to us and goes, it's not polite to celebrate when you know the answer and no one else does. And we were just like, ooh.
What's her
problem? But she was also 100.
Yeah.
She was 100 and we were new and we came in second and everybody got really mad.
Oh no.
But are you still going to go back?
Marty also, like, if you meet him, you're like, oh, that guy's the nicest guy. But then if you play something with him where you have to compete, he's the most murderous man on the planet.
He really like cooled his jets that night. He was really good. But there were a few times where he was like, I know the answer for sure. And I'm like, I know for sure that this is the wrong answer, but I'm not fighting him on this one. I'd rather lose.
And then when he was wrong, was he like, sorry, Jan. Sorry.
Oh, he was so contrite. He's like, it's my fault. We didn't win. And I was like, no, it's all our fault. There was like a good $60 on the line, but.
Oh.
Tim Baltz does the best Marty Adams impression. It's killer. And also, if you haven't seen, did you go see the Tim Baltz trailer?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's very funny.
It's obviously you did go watch it. Great. It's very, very funny. If you go to check out Tim Baltz, and you can see like this funny movie trailer he's made in quarantine.
It's very good. Well, we are
Very
kind
funny.
of nearing the end. So what I wanted to do is go to my favorite city, which is Promo City. And that is for our dearest two little Sammies. So right now I have your Instagram up so you can follow Two Little Sandwiches. And truly
So
it is
nice.
the nicest, most lovely place on the internet, I have to say. What
Thank
could,
you.
if people don't know you yet, which they for sure would on our podcast, as we literally talk about you every day.
Oh, and I'm always in the chat too, being such a pain. I'm
No,
like,
we love you in the chat. We love the chat. We would be nothing without this chat. But I think that you've really created like the warmest, loveliest, most supportive little like corner of the internet that people need to follow.
Thank you. That's so kind.
So what can people expect from your channel?
Well, I'm trying to cook every day as my supplies are slowly depleting. So you're going to see things that don't require flour, probably. Just sandwiches that we're eating now. Yes, I love a good Two Little Sandwiches. But I'm hoping my next video is going to be chocolate chip cookies, because I'm trying to work my way through things that like I feel everybody should kind of know how to make.
Right.
So yeah.
Jen, we're getting requests online too of like, tell us about that cake. And if you can't see the cake, it looks like a birthday cake, layered birthday cake.
Oh, the Momofuku cake.
So so what I've set up with Jan is behind her is the Momofuku birthday cake, which you can see on Jan's Two Little Sandwiches highlights, because we shot Jan making it, and it was truly the most delicious cake, and it needs to be frozen.
Oh yeah.
Make no
it needs
mistake.
to be frozen for like a long time. But like we had such a fun day doing that. Like I had so much fun with you, Stacey, and it was a behemoth of a cake, because it's like 4 different steps. It's 3 layers. It took me 3 days to make. Stacey was with me a full day as we did it.
It was so fun.
And it was really delicious.
It was so good. How long did it take for your household to consume that cake? Because you sent me home with a baby cake that I ate in just one bite. It was so delicious.
It took us a long time, because that night we had our friend Lisa Merchant over, and we ate the cake. And then I think I gave a piece to someone. Maybe I gave her a piece to take home. But it still took us a long time, because you could eat like maybe this much at a go. It's very rich. But just like imagine your most favorite birthday cake from when you were a child, and like that's what it tastes like. It's
so perfect. It's so wonderful. And that's how I would describe you as well. Wouldn't you agree, Jason?
An angel food cake is how I would describe Jan.
Now, this is the thing, because I was gonna title this episode "Vape Juice," but maybe it's angel food cake as well.
Oh my goodness, this is coming to an end of a week. This is a whole weekend now. We're gonna be.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Oh, Jason just froze. But
to me yesterday after the pod, they're like, you guys should. Am I frozen?
You're coming back now. What were you saying?
Just that someone pointed out yesterday, because we're in these weird times together, we should always mention, like, it's so nice. We are so far apart. This is kind of an experience that everyone's going through right now, which is so weird. But like, we're like, just that we're so far apart geographically, but like the world is in this place where we can still be friends and we can still hang out. Everybody's doing this. I don't know. It just they said it was very inspiring to watch us and be like, oh cool,
that's
it's
so
great
nice
that we're keeping attached and connected.
Well,
It's nice to have a community.
Totally. We
Yeah.
love the chat. It's been really great. There hasn't been any pervs, which is just the first rule of it. I'm glad everyone's abiding. And it's so nice to talk and check in with everyone. And it's so nice selfishly to chat with all of our friends and, give compliments. Again, didn't receive one. But I'm not counting. But no, but it's been really, really nice. So it'll be weird to not stream for 2 days. But
I'm gonna miss you guys for sure.
we're going to miss you. Are you posting on the weekend? Does Two Little Sandwiches take a nap?
I'll do stories and stuff, but probably not actual posts.
Oh, okay. Well, friends, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can always check it out at youtube.com/Stacey McGunnigle. And you can catch up this weekend on episodes that you have missed. And we will put all the stuff we were talking about today on our Instagram, so you can check out that. And Sorry, I just got distracted because someone said, I do like the red plain jacket hanging in the back. I usually unhook it, but here's the truth of my house. And you can follow at Two Little Sandwiches. You can follow me at the Stacey McGee and Jason at Jason DeRoss. And all the info will be down below. So follow and have a great weekend. Is there anything else you want to say, Jan or Jay?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Craigie.
Craig
and have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us. See you on Monday. Bye.